Karanasan ko po, di na ba nakasalanan ng video?
Media educators and journalists called to defend press freedom.
Karanasan ko po, di na ba nakasalanan ng video?
Media educators and journalists called to defend press freedom.
Good evening. You're watching News Cafe on the Solar News Channel. I'm Mitzi Borromeo. Tonight, we've got two internet sensations who fired up Pinoy pride and made us roll on the floor laughing with their satirical viral videos on Filipino culture and society. He is probably most known for his character with an Australian accent exploring the Philippine urban jungle and its specimens. He is also a musician and the drummer of the band Giniling Festival. He is Marco Ho, aka Bogart the Explorer. G'day.
G'day,
G'day, Bogart. And he rose to fame on Canadian Idol, and more Pinoys got to know him through his first YouTube video, the Filipino accent tutorial, as he says. Recently, his cover of Avicii's Wake Me Up, done purely by mouth, went massively viral and got him international recognition. He is Mikey Bustos. Good evening, guys.
Hello, good evening.
Great to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure to be here.
We have lots of people here, actually, because you take on so many personas. On your... Now, I'd like to ask you both about these internet personalities you created. I'll start with you, Bogart, Marco. How did you come up with, why Bogart? Si Bogart, actually, Bisaya ka. You're from Davao. Bakit nga si Bogart?
It started because a couple of years ago we were on television, and so we just needed to come up with a name that was funny enough. But you know, at that time, Bogart sounded pretty funny to me. So, and then we wanted to go with someone who, because the only costume available at that time was an explorer costume.
Were you inspired by Steve Irwin, or is it Bear Grylls?
Both. There is actually a debate online as to, hey, he's more of a Steve Irwin, he's more of a Bear Grylls. But actually, sometimes I infuse Bear Grylls into the videos just to shake things up.
Yeah.
But sometimes people catch it and sometimes people don't. It's mostly on the intros, opening of the videos, But so, it was, it's been a long run. And then the fact that I am from Davao City, the land down under. So I wanted to put that in there.
Yeah.
So, and a proud Dabawenyo. So that's how the name came about.
Right. And Mikey, you're Canadian.
That's correct. Yeah, I was born and raised in Canada, pero my parents are very Pinoy. So I guess all the characters that you see on YouTube are kind of extensions of me. Yeah, and they just kind of came to be. I have no explanation how they came to be. I'm actually not really an actor. I've had to just kind of adapt because of the YouTube circumstance. And they're real people in my mind, extensions of myself.
But you start this Filipino tutorial. How did you, is this something you just observed at home, or did you speak Tagalog as well?
Yeah, well, my parents are super Pinoy. They migrated from Philippines in the 70s, so they brought with them the Pinoy values that, you know, we attribute to our lolas and from back then. So they instilled it, syempre, to me and my brother. So we grew up very Pinoy way, Pinoy food. We grew up with traditions, had Pinoy values, and so I brought it to the screen.
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
Well, what inspired you to do these videos? For you, no, Marco, Bogart, I don't know what to call you, Bogart, Marco. You actually started as a production assistant on Solar.
Yeah.
You were doing front act, so that kind of started your media life.
Yeah, it did, because I used to be in the background of the cameras and then just kind of made coffee and threw the garbage and grabbed the food of the host and everything.
That's the best way to start.
Exactly, and then slowly I got speaking roles. So I'd be at the back and pretending like a bouncer to Madame Oring. So that was awesome. And then later on they gave me speaking lines. So my first speaking line on TV was like, hello. And then the next day all the comments on the show was like, who is that handsome young awesome voiced bloke? So and slowly they realized this guy has potential.
Yeah.
So over lunch break they just kind of, gave us the producer Jaco De Leon of the show here in Solar. We just kind of we had the cameras free, so we just went around and shot stuff. But he had an idea in mind about a Steve Irwin type character to hunt down Philippine, creatures, but actual Philippine creatures, the people. So so we did, the first episode that we did was the Philippine town grasser. So yeah, so when you bagged and tagged it for scientific purposes.
Right.
And our inspiration lately has been, everything that we see actually.
Yeah.
I mean, social media has been quite efficient at getting us, information about what's happening, relevant,
Right.
things that are happening at the moment. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
our inspiration mostly.
Yeah, so where do you come up with your content? You both say that you love to observe people. You have to be very observant to come up with videos such as yours. For you, Mikey, you've done so many tutorials from eating, from
Yeah.
CR,
Yes.
on the courting rituals. How do you come up with these
Yeah,
topics?
well, I think the advantage I had was that I grew up Canadian, so I knew that culture. And then I also grew up Pinoy, so I could see the differences. Whereas maybe people from Philippines take some of the details, the minor subtle stuff for granted. But for example, I know that Pinoys use tabo to wash their bum after they go poo. And that was so unique. I said, let's bring it to the screen.
Yeah.
And
We
people
take that
liked
for
it.
granted. It's true.
Take
When
it
you
for
live
granted.
in a society, you just don't see these as really unique.
Exactly.
You used to work, Marco, in a call center. Is this where you picked up some of these accents? How did this contribute to your persona?
No, I mean the call center industry helped a lot in the formation of my accents. But actually, growing up, I was more of an introvert. I just stayed at home and watched cable TV all the time, cartoons. So, and cartoons mostly, and National Geographic, and all those
yes.
things. But and then because I was mostly fascinated with that, with how they spoke.
Yeah.
Actually,
You always impersonated people, and you were always a clown,
Yeah.
right, through your impersonation.
yeah, but growing up, I was never really a clown at school or anywhere else. No one with my family was. I was actually more of a nerd. Growing up, because but mostly when the Top Cat, the show Top Cat, on cartoon.
Yeah.
And they have this Irish police officer. Top of the morning, travelers. My name is Officer O'Malley. So, and I'd be fascinated, wow, that sounds so awesome. And then I finally saw Steve Irwin, I was like, wow, yeah, check this out. So it's like, wow. So I've mostly been fascinated by that, and then just kind of, narrate stuff around me every time I go out, and I just do the BBC accent.
Right.
Nice.
So yeah.
Well, speaking of accents, when you came up with this Aussie accent, you made a call to a radio station and pretended you're Aussie. Tell us about that.
I did. A TV show on Solar also had a radio show to go with it. So, and they also broadcasted online. So I pretended I was listening to an online stream, and then towards the later part of the interview, I was like, can I greet my friends there in the Philippines, Mike? Like, yeah, go ahead, sir. Please greet your friends. And I was like, main gabi sa taga Davao.
Bisaya.
Yeah, biglang Bisaya. It was perfect because I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just like, talagang Bisaya na lang talaga tayo. and that's what I did. So that's what I did. And then they were laughing, and that started the whole thing.
And that was your big break, actually.
Yeah,
huh?
it was a big break. Yeah.
Now, Mikey, you love to sing. Since you were 5, you were singing.
Yeah, I've been singing my whole life, longer than I've been a comedian, that's for sure. Music is just part of who I am.
Yeah.
I love doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You floored the Canadian Idol judges with your rendition of Hello.
Thank you.
Right? I mean, I remember one of the judges was saying that you have this huge personality just comes out when you sing. It's like the voice of an angel.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, don't be
Angel.
humble.
Yeah,
Did you have any formal singing training?
No, I didn't. It's just something I always did.
Yeah.
And as for the comedy, that stuff is something I picked up
Right.
because of YouTube.
Yeah.
So, I like both. I like comedy, I love singing, and YouTube has really forced me to really explore my artistic abilities.
So do you think the personas you take on, like you use Bogart, an Australian perspective, when we're able to look at ourselves from the outside, you're able then to provide, I guess it widens your perspective. Is that why you've chosen the Aussie rather than just be Bogart from Davao? What do you think?
No, I just really thought that would be funny.
It was purely that.
That is deep.
Yeah.
It was, but now it's gotten deep because now you provide some kind of satire with your videos. It's a parody on the Pinoys. A lot of times when we see criticism from foreigners, we get so pissed off. Sometimes, kumbaga naging pikon, no?
Yeah.
But when it's done by Filipinos and Filipinos, it's okay. So how do you do this, balance this in your videos? That you kind of make fun of the Filipinos. How do you maintain that balance? Of not making
We
it
really don't think about it. We just want to see things that are funny to us. This is funny right here. Are you offended? No? We're good. so that's basically, but mostly we try to get a message across as well. It's sort of like what the guy said in the movie 2012. It's like you lure them in with a humor,
Yeah.
And then, but you actually make them think.
Yeah, true.
Right.
And so far, from the very beginning of from the first video up to today, how have your audiences responded? For you, Mikey, you think how has it been for you?
They've been great. I think the most negative I ever got was maybe my first video, the Filipino accent tutorial, only because maybe my motive wasn't clear. But after I started creating more videos about Pinoy culture and instilling Pinoy pride, people were like, oh, okay, I get what this guy Mikey's about. And so I haven't really had that much hate.
Right.
So much.
And I think you have to be Filipino to understand, because there's some inside jokes. So you think with foreigners, this is not really for foreigners, even though it talks about Filipino culture. Would you say, Marco?
Yeah, but I'm surprised because, yeah, that's true though. I'm surprised because a lot of foreigners, message me on the Facebook page and on Twitter, and then they say they appreciate the Filipino culture more, and they
Yeah.
understand it a little bit more because of the videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is not for a foreign market, my
Yeah.
videos.
That's true. Well, I share it with my friends too, from who are not from here, and it's just for them to get a better understanding of our culture.
Yeah.
And from this, you've actually gotten a lot of invitations for endorsements. I see a lot of videos and think they're just, your typical videos, but they're actually embedded advertising. How has this changed the way you create content? Do you think that in a way it's selling out? You're giving into commercialization, Mikey?
Me, I like to see it as a collab. First of all, I know Bogart's the same. We really try to protect our integrity online because, I mean, as a YouTuber or as any online celebrity or any celebrity,
Yeah.
you have to really protect your audience, and your audience trusts you. So
Yes.
when you accept an endorsement, you kind of have to, one, believe in the product,
Right.
and two, realize that you can't sacrifice your creative content and
Right.
your energy. You don't want to sacrifice that, and that way you can kind of not be a sellout. I
Right.
mean, there are artists nowadays are incorporating sponsorships for their music videos, and it's kind of life. We're artists too. We need to survive.
Yeah. True.
And yeah, I think as long as you don't compromise the content,
Right.
my audience is usually okay with that. They're like, oh, this was sponsored by a certain brand, and they're like, thank you to that brand for making it possible for Mikey to make more videos.
Yeah. You're even helping to promote the Department of Tourism. You're now both doing different videos promoting different provinces.
Yes.
For you, Marco, how has that been? I mean, I don't know, because you have a different style, yet it's quite similar. How do you go about promoting the different areas or attractions?
Well, actually, like for example, Boracay. I've never really been to Boracay till last year.
Yeah.
I was like, and then the first time I went to Boracay, I ended up like coming back there like 3 times in the span of 2 months. Yeah, but for work and stuff. But yeah, I just really, the great thing, we call it vacay shoots. Cause
Nice.
from the, like Mikey said, we get money from sponsors, right?
Right.
From the ads that we do. And so we have funds to do our own videos that we don't really get paid on. So so Jacko, the guy who produces our show, he pays for these vacations that we go on, we shoot. And then whenever we find something funny, that's what we do. We just,
Yeah.
hey, let's do this, let's do that. We don't go,
It's not dictated to you then by
No,
the DOT
it's not.
or-
No,
That's good.
it's not. We
I
just
love
go
what you
there.
said, Brian. The 3 Ks. There are 3 Ks. Name us the 3 Ks, please, in Boracay.
the 3 Ks, corals, clownfish, and Koreans. It's funny. Yeah, because funny, we were thinking about when we were doing the opening bit, it's like Boracay, with the only thing whiter than the sand, the Koreans.
That cracked me up.
Because they're
It's true.
Yeah, so we're thinking, is that racist? No. You know why? Why? Because like Filipinos want to be white. You know?
Right.
So it's like it's a video for Filipinos. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. So it's like that's true.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's,
since you brought up racism, where do you draw the line? I mean, when it comes to comedy, maybe there are some topics that you should not talk about. What are the topics that you do not touch, Mikey?
Well, I'm kind of on the team of comedians that can be funny without making at the expense of another. So I try not to single out anyone in particular and poke fun at, I don't know, their looks or, something they might be going through. So yeah, I kind of have a good compass as a Pinoy.
Yeah.
I really trust my compass inside that tells me, okay, this is kind of offensive and this isn't.
Yeah.
And I'll often run my videos by people from Philippines, and they'll give me their feedback as to maybe
Yeah.
a joke that I'm not sure about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
better be safe than sorry.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
For you, I remember seeing Boris, Comrade Boris from Soviet La Union. You did
Yeah.
some violent videos, but you used fruits. You were attacking fruits.
I did, and that was really the original
Violence.
concept of it. But Boris, actually started because we wanted to do things that Bogart can't do anymore, you know, because we wanted to do more action-y things. So we created a whole character who's dedicated to that.
Right. All right. Well, we still have so much to talk about, but we'll take a very short break. But don't touch that dial. We've got a lot more fun, laughter, and maybe some chismes from our guests when we return. So stay tuned.
The Ice Pick is a wonderful weapon system with versatile tactical applications. It comes with an advanced tetanus delivery warhead and unlimited ammunition, with 3 different firing modes: semi-automatic, 3-round burst, and fully automatic. To gauge destructive yield of Philippine Ice Pick warhead, I will now test it on terrorist watermelon hiding over there. Children, please do not be trying this at home. I am professional Russian wannabe. Let's rock and roll.
And we're on the hunt for the quickest and cleverest land creature known to Filipinos. The very sneaky Philippine snatcher. There it is! Oh, that was fast! Oh, really fast! Wow, I didn't even see that coming! Be quiet, stay loud. Right, hey, look, it's the Philippine Snatcher's Lair. First time on Philippine television. It's a very powerful hearing. Look at how amazing it is.
I waited for your door to door. It came, I handled it with care. It's so heavy. Frank said, so excited to smell that North American air. But there was so much tape, I could not open it with rope tied around the whole box. Address written everywhere, as if we're blind over here, and OA naman yung padlocks. I got my balikbayan box. I waited for it for 2 months. I bet it's full of awesome stuff. Some Colgate and new briefs, imported corned beef. I got my balikbayan box.
Welcome back to News Cafe on the Solar News Channel with guests Marco Ho and Mikey Bustos. Okay, so we just saw some really good videos of yours. The interesting specimen, the Philippine Snatcher of Bogart.
Philippine Snitcher.
That's right, and Balikbayan Box of Mikey Bustos. Now let's talk about the Snatcher. Why did you come up? Why the Snatcher? How did this come up?
When when I go to work back then, I just take the Jeep or the bus, and one time I saw a snatcher, and it's like, oh, interesting. I got to see him because he was like, the bus was like this, and then the snatcher was like running this way. So I got to see the snatcher for a long time. It's like, wow, interesting. He's incredibly agile, swift, and those powerful hind legs, kind of like a cheetah. Ding.
So this is we're seeing the process of Bogart creating his content, of Marco, I mean.
Yeah.
It's basically through observation.
Through observation and what we normally see. And then we just kind of, the snatcher there is now actually a soldier. And a lot of people ask us as well, like, oh, is that a real snatcher you guys used to? No, it's not.
You have to get actors.
Yeah,
You're not
we
even
did.
really trained actors, though.
No, not really.
Where
They
do
were
you
just
get
houseboy
your
of our
talents?
director. I was like, oh, may ginagawa ka ba? Sama sa amin.
Pwede bang extra next time?
Yeah.
Casting.
Yeah, so and then one time we did the snatcher was the Philippine squatter. And then it was battling with the landlord who had like a barong on. We just saw like a driver with the barong on. Hey, kuya, may ginagawa ka ba? I want to make an extra buck.
It's all on the fly, huh?
Yeah,
It works.
guerrilla.
Right. You both do a lot of parodies. Mikey, Balikbayan Box, which is actually a parody of Wrecking Ball. How did
Yes.
that come about?
Now that I'm here in the Philippines a lot, I often get balikbayan boxes from my mom. Thanks,
So it's really
Mommy.
based on your story.
Yeah, actually, the video is predominantly true. Because, my very first balikbayan box I got, I was so excited. I'm like, yes, awesome. Pulling out the spam. And then there were some weird items in there, like a bottle of holy water, and you see it.
That's true, I
You
saw
see it in the video. That is the actual bottle
Really?
of holy
That
water
was
that my mom
huge.
sent me. I'm like, what am I gonna use this for? In case I come across the demon, you know what I mean? So like, it was just, it was inspired by by true story. It was
And the
really
lyrics,
humorous.
exactly. You said the smell of North America, which is
Yes,
true. That when you
right.
get a balikbayan
I've
box,
never
Yeah,
done.
it's an
you haven't. But
experience.
have you gotten a balikbayan box,
Never.
Marco?
I've
There is
never-
a smell.
We don't
There's
have
a certain smell.
anyone outside.
But it's
Yeah.
fun, you know, all of these. And so when you come up with which, how do you choose a song? But are you just choosing
Well,
what's
yeah,
trending?
I'm always keeping my eye open for what's
Yeah.
the newest thing, the newest trend, newest popular song, and
Yeah.
then I'm like, I'm gonna spoof that. And I'm a songwriter too, so
Right.
I enjoy recreating popular songs. And I've always wanted to do a balikbayan box video. You know, I've been on the other side in Canada packing my balikbayan box for my relatives. Like, I think it needs more tape. But yeah, now I'm here on this side
Yeah.
receiving it, so I had lots of material.
Now,
for
since you
that.
brought up music, that's something you both share. You are both musicians. So Bogart, Marco, you also are with a band, Giniling Festival, and you
Yeah.
also, so this is you call it comedy metal, right?
Yeah.
But you also you're a drummer, and also with Penguin, the punk band.
Yeah, Penguin as well. Yeah, music has been always big for me. People are surprised when they find out, oh, Bogart drums pala. And I was like, I was a drummer before I was anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, growing up with my dad who was also in a band growing up, and we had like our family business back in Davao was lights and sounds with instruments, and we used to tour Davao with these show bands who'd play like popular songs from Manila, and I'd be just a kid. I'd be there watching the whole thing,
Yeah.
you know, traveling with them on
Yeah.
tours.
I remember reading this story about you. There was in Davao, I think there was a party for, was it Insular Hotel? And the Dawn was playing. You were 9 years old?
I was, and I finally
What did you
met
do?
them. I finally met the Don, Francis Brew, and Buddy Zavala, and the whole guys, a whole bunch. I told them about the story, and Francis said, "Dude, I may even have a picture of you." Because in the yeah, I was just like, oh my god.
He crashed. You went on stage and started singing.
I did, because they were signing autographs and everything. So I went on stage, started singing. While my mom was getting an autograph, I was like, "Hey, that kid, he sounds good."
That was
But
a-
yeah, I can't sing.
Premonition of things to come, huh?
Yeah. Now I play side by side with them. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, Mikey, you were with a boy band. You were more
Oh,
into, you were
yeah.
more into the pop R&B. Tell us about these two boy bands. You
Wow,
were in.
your show does a lot of great research.
There are
Talked
no
about my boy
secrets
band
here.
in a long time.
This is the chismes on you.
Yeah, well, in high school, I had already decided I wanted to be an entertainer and specifically at the time a singer. And so, yeah, I formed a boy band. We were the Filipino Backstreet Boys. And, you know, we did the singing and we did the whole dancing and choreo.
Yeah.
And I think I really started there, like
Yeah.
honing my performing skills.
And that continued
started
through
it all.
college, huh?
I continued through
You wanted to be a
college.
vet, a veterinarian.
I did,
actually.
yeah, but my main passion and in my heart, I really wanted to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
And I stuck with it, and then Canadian Idol happened when I was 22.
Yeah.
And
what was
it,
that like? I mean, imagine you're on Idol camp. I mean, the fame, the instant
Oh yeah,
fame. What was
very
it like? doing
stressful. I think I was post-traumatized because I can't even watch any Idol. Like as soon as I hear the
Really?
music, I hear da-na-na-na-na-na, and my heart starts to race. I'm like, oh,
Really?
I gotta get out of here. yeah.
That's
But it was
pretty
very stressful,
scary.
but it changed my life.
You
for
made it to the
better.
top 10. And I remember in your
Yes.
audition, you said this was so meaningful for you because you wanted to change, to break the barrier for Asians in North America.
Yes, yeah. So, you know, I've always been proud of being Filipino, being Asian. Well, they were Asian.
Yeah.
And that's always been a part of my thing. So whether it be my tutorial accents, my tutorial videos on YouTube or Canadian Idol, I was
Yeah.
all about Pinoy pride. So
And you even made it bigger than the winner, actually, and everybody else who was in Idol, because you created your own album. You were touring. You moved from New York to
yes, yeah.
LA.
Yeah,
to Manila.
the one thing that reality TV showed me was that it's not really about what place you come in. It's what you take from the show and what you do afterwards.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
from
tell
where
us
you
about your album because that was quite a life-changing time for you. Memoirs of a Superhero.
Yes, that was my debut album. I wrote it while I was living in Montreal, and all original. And some of the music you might recognize from my videos.
Yes.
And it is my favorite album.
Yeah.
It was probably the best musical experience I've ever.
Yeah, you talked
gone
about
through.
being inspired by certain life coaches when you were
Yes.
doing this.
Yeah, I got really into success literature for a while. I still am.
Yeah.
And some of my heroes for self-improvement and that sort of thing inspired the album,
Yeah.
and I sent the album to them, and,
Yeah.
and they said they've loved the album. So.
Yeah, great. Well, Marco, for your stuff, I mean, when you're out, do you feel that people recognize you more for being Bogart than your musical persona?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that a problem for you, or
Well,
do you
not
find-
really. I mean, it's when people come up to me and want to take photos and just want to listen, hear the accent. It's like, okay, I just do it.
Yeah. Do you find that maybe they conflict with one another, or actually do they contribute to?
They help.
roles?
Actually, they help because when I'm at gigs, and then like Bogart drum solo, okay. So
Yeah.
it's like it helps the band and it helps the character as well. Because some people are still surprised when they find out that hey, he's in a band, he's in Giniling Festival.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Your bandmates Jack and Jeje, I remember they said in an interview where they were saying you're very about your fame. They said si Bogart talented din, yung iba pa-cute. They're saying about many other internet stars are pa-cute lang, ikaw talented ka na talented, and they're very supportive of your
yeah, well,
career.
they were just doing that for the camera.
Okay, so it's not true.
Not
Showbiz.
true.
Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah, so they don't mean what they say.
No, they don't know what they say.
So how would you say these different personas, because you're a songwriter, singer, being a comedian, and then you're a producer also, you direct. How does this all play? I mean, do you think sometimes it's such a challenge because you have to do all of this at once? Mikey?
Well, for me, I found it an advantage. Certainly, being a songwriter and being a musician, it's helped with my comedic timing because
Yeah.
I already have a good sense of rhythm. But also, more than that, being any celebrity, you kind of always have to reinvent yourself. Right. So if you're good at more than one thing, it's kind of like a secret thing in your pocket. One example would be Jamie Foxx. Diba? We knew him first as a comedian, but have you ever heard him perform?
Oh my, he's excellent.
He
Wow.
won a Grammy, and
Yeah.
it was just like this big thing of like, okay, he's a comedian, but he really also has this undiscovered talent that is
Yeah.
just there.
Yeah.
And for me, it's helped me with staying relevant because my content is always evolving. Now
Right.
it's more musical than it is comedy, but
Yeah.
I still juggle the two.
Yeah.
I try to anyway.
You
yeah.
worked with a lot of producers also in the U.S., who dealt with some of these big stars like
Yes, that's right.
J-Lo and
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Mariah Carey.
You met your idol, Mariah Carey, right?
Yeah, I
You
met Mariah
her?
Carey, Christina Aguilera. I opened for her here in
Yeah,
Philippines.
excellent. What was that
I can die
like?
happy now. Yeah,
Next time they're going to be opening for you.
yeah, right. Well, no, it's one of the best things I think about being a YouTube celebrity is we get to work with some of the top people, the top companies,
Yeah.
big brands, and it's such an honor to be able to play with the big boys.
Yeah. How has that helped you think? I mean, has it brought more opportunities? What kinds of opportunities, Marco?
Well, we get free stuff sent to
That's
our
always
house.
good.
Yeah, it's always good. But
Free
no,
things.
we get
Free things.
Yeah, we get to help advocacies as well
Yeah.
because.
Like what? What advocacies? Well, of course, promoting culture and tourism.
Of course, I've mostly been with the music industry as well. So I've been promoting
OPM.
OPM. Yeah, and then as well as like food drives.
Yeah.
Because food is a very big part.
You're
of
very
my
passionate
life.
about
Yeah, I'm very very passionate
Yeah,
about food.
we
so
see
yeah.
that in the videos. And you, in fact, you have a series that shows that discusses food. Some of
yes.
the best eats around the country.
Yeah, mostly in like Metro Manila in the West Zone, but sometimes we venture outside of the country. We'll be venturing outside the country soon as well.
Yeah. Now you also are getting more attention. With fame comes a lot of attention from admirers and perhaps some girls out there. Being a comedian, sometimes, people just want you to make them laugh. But what makes you laugh? What is it about someone else that attracts you for those that might be interested?
I'm not a funny person.
You're not.
And if I'm not in front of a camera, I'm
shy.
I still have that being an introvert as a kid. Growing up, I'm very very shy. I mostly just stay at home. I only go out for gigs or for work or whatever.
My kind of guy, Marco.
Magino.
Magino.
Ginoo daw.
Yeah, so I'm looking for like a girl who just likes to stay at home.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Likes
watch
to eat.
movies. Likes to cook.
Yeah.
Mostly. So I can
And
eat
a
it.
wonderful woman gave you your poncho, isn't it?
Yeah, my mom.
Yes.
That's your sofa.
Yeah.
Very nice. It's from South Africa.
I blend in.
Very nice,
Awesome.
Very nice, yeah.
I like it.
Now, Mikey, you got marriage proposals very early, especially after Canadian Idol.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, dating has been more interesting, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just look for someone who likes to have fun.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, not too serious.
But how do you deal with this fame? I mean, for you, especially after Canadian Idol, it happened practically overnight. There's so many offers coming your way. How do you deal with this? What are
Well, you try to deal with it in stride. I kind of take it as a educational experience. I think one of the biggest things that all of this has taught me was to be an entrepreneur. So I guess it's brought us into the entrepreneur world. And I love, I guess, consulting, again, with like some of the bigger companies. I find that fun.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to have fun with it.
That's true. And you've both formed your own companies, of course, your production companies for this. And you're helping to promote other local talents.
That's right.
Speaking of which, other internet sensations. So we know another woman who is quite famous, Petra Mahalimuyak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you worked with her? Are you thinking of maybe working with
I
her?
worked with her. I have a current project with her at the moment, promoting a vehicle. So we're coming out. Our video is coming out with like a short film, like 10 minutes long, probably. With her, we go on an adventure, and then we fight ninjas and stuff.
Ooh, well,
So,
looking
yeah.
forward to that.
So-
How would you describe each of your unique styles of humor for you, Marco? I mean, both of you tackle Philippine culture, but what would you say your style is? I mean, do you have a particular style, do you think? Do you think about it?
I don't really think about it. I just whatever's funny to us. I mean, we have like now it's not just me who does the videos. I mean, we now have like a whole production crew. So and every single one has something to suggest for the episode. So now it's like a collaborative effort. So I can't do this alone. I mostly just leave it up to them now.
Yeah.
Because we're all the same age and we grew up on the same things.
Yeah.
So we have the same humor. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, that sounds funny. So I don't even have to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
So,
You, Mikey?
Yeah, same. I just kind of, if I think it's funny, I'll run with it.
And you're portraying like hundreds of different characters.
Yeah. I don't really have a big team so much. I kind of like to have my hands in everything.
Yeah.
And you know, if they don't find me funny, I don't mind. I like to create a quality product and send it out there, and whether they like it or not, it's up to them.
How long does it take to create something? Let's say your series with Fred McCormick.
Yep.
Si Frank. Frank.
Yes.
Frank. You were portraying like 5 different characters, and you were in Palawan.
That's right.
How long did that take? To do?
Usually shoots like that take around 4 days to shoot, and then the editing is really what takes the
Yeah.
longest. So maybe another 2 or 3 days of
It's like filming
focused
scenes
work.
where both of you are in that scene, you and Michelle.
Yeah, it really helps to have assistants there to help me change and block me while I'm hubad. You know? So
What would you say are some of your best shows for you, Marco? Some of the best ones, or whether it's people you met, best experiences you've had so far?
It's just mostly the places that I get to go to, you know, because and the people that you meet. It's the people, really.
Yeah.
Mostly it's the people.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised at how people can surprise you. In subtle to epic ways.
The Pinoys are just something else. aren't
Yeah, it's
they?
magical.
Nakakatawa.
Yeah, it is.
yeah. As always, for you, Mikey. Well, you travel back and forth to Canada and Manila.
I do, yeah. I really love locations. I mean, I'm traveling constantly, and as soon as I see a location and an idea comes to mind, I keep a mental note. So maybe if for a future video, I can film there, you know, and I might see a giant tree, and I'll be like, oh, that would make a good duende house.
So you're constantly thinking of content. Both of you, when you're out, you're observing
Yes.
people. You think this will make a good character.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess once you have the freedom to completely create, the artist in you just kind of is fostered.
When it pops up, the idea, like for example, like I have an idea, I just grab my phone, call Jack. Jax, I just thought of something really funny. And Jack would be like, oh, okay, that is funny. Let's shoot tomorrow. I'll call the guys.
Wow, that's so much. That's
Yeah.
great. You know, when you love what you do, and then you can just basically create reality out of your dreams, huh?
That's
Fun.
right.
Yeah, it becomes real, and you actually see it and hold it. And
Yeah.
feel it. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's a great feeling as an artist, a completed work, right?
Good thought to
Exactly.
ponder while we take another short break. When we come back, we'll get some tips from Marco and Mikey on social media and talk about their future projects. Keep it here on the Solar News Channel.
So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. Oh, this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost.
With its crystal clear blue waters, Boracay is definitely one of the country's best swimming spots, especially if you're a mermaid. Merman. Merman. Merman! Merman! No, Bogart. You're a dugong. Extremely persistent and a master at haggling, the Boracay Mamsur, a creature endemic to this island, can help set your day up with all kinds of fun-filled Boracay activities.
Ma'am sir, para sa ilim, jet ski, fly fish, banana boat.
Remember, if you don't want to go because you don't have any money or have already gone, you can always say no with a firm voice and avoiding eye contact.
Jet ski.
This is your boy Mikey Bustos. This video is an in-depth tutorial of the Filipino accent. The first thing to know is there are no F sounds. Palo, flip, pak, Filipino, Philippines, family, snowflake. No B sounds. Victory, ban, bibo, living la vida loca, golden retriever. Blog and blog sound the same. The lack of B probably comes from the Spanish influence when the Spaniards invaded Philippines in the 1500s. That is why many of us Filipinos have Spanish last names like Bustos. My full name is Michael John Yadan Tumangil Pestaño Bustos. Try saying that 5 times. Also worth noting, there's no TH. It's either D sound like that, this, there, them, breed, or T sound like tick, tit, beneath, tisel, bread.
You're still watching News Cafe on the Solar News Channel with Marco Ho and Mikey Bustos. Well, guys, I want to ask about your viral videos. Let's start with Mikey. You made it big recently with your Avicii Wake Me Up video, which is all done by mouth. How did this come about? Why did you think of that?
I'm part of a radio morning show here
Yes,
in the
you're a
Philippines.
DJ.
Yes, that's right. We're Good Times with Mo, Mikey, and Sam on
Right.
Magic 89.9, Monday to Thursday. And we have this segment every Thursday, which everyone really listens to. It's called the Sukapela segment, where we recreate popular songs using just our mouth. Tunog tao style, I guess, if you will. And that was one of my entries for 1 week, and I decided to do a video for it, and I uploaded it. You know, I didn't think it would go viral, but it really just clicked with a lot of people. And as soon as Huffington Post posted it, I was just like, okay, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then it was a domino effect. Zoe Deschanel shared it, and even the original singer, what's his name?
Excellent.
Aloe Black
Yeah,
shared
yeah.
it himself. So I was just blown away.
That's
by
like
all
the
of that.
ultimate compliment, I guess, no? You
Yeah.
have the original.
Most definitely.
How
yeah.
long? I heard it took you like 7.5 hours or something.
Yeah, it took
to
me
do
7.5 hours of recording time in the studio and editing, and then it was maybe another day to
Yeah.
shoot and edit the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marco, you have, of course, I don't know where to begin with all of yours. I remember one of the ones that also was going around a lot was the Harlem Shake.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's when we saw all of a lot of people saying this is too much now, and we really wanted to punch the guy. And over here, you see Bogart punch the guy. How did you come up with that?
I know, it actually took us, for a very short video, that actually took us the longest to shoot. Because we
Really?
were playing with the actual games that were in the video, like playing table tennis, someone was doing Wii and all the other things that were there. But the great thing about making like the Guillaume video the Harlem Shake video was that we just didn't want to listen to it anymore. It was just so everywhere, and we forgot. We even did it in Bisaya, and I wasn't even thinking I was going to.
So
do
that was
it in
spontaneous.
That was spontaneous, and it's funny how the videos, most of the videos have. You know, like when you said that the artists of the songs that you cover.
Yeah.
You know, and we actually got a video from the Irwins actually.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I was just jumping when I saw that. All of them were there.
Wow.
And Bendy and the rest of the guys. So I just.
So they sent you a video
They did.
showing
They did.
their
Yeah.
appreciation.
Yeah, and posting on
Excellent.
Facebook.
What for you is the greatest? I mean, of course, you just talked about how you feel when you get this kind of appreciation, but what is the meaning, the deepest meaning or best form of gratitude you get or in terms of response from your audience?
I don't know. I think the happiness that we bring to them. I remember getting this one message on our Facebook page. This guy was a teacher at a special ed school for special kids.
Yeah.
And then, so he'd have them go online as well sometimes, but he also would check what they'd be watching just to get them exposed to social media because it will be part of their lives.
Yeah.
And one video, and they always request that put on Bogart the Explorer videos so that they can watch it. And these kids, these special kids, they enjoy the videos. And it's like,
great.
wow. And they
Well,
have
there's
a
so
good
much you
time.
can learn, you know, and that's what you do too with your videos. I remember, Mikey, you did one also on Philippine rice, which
Yeah.
was very funny in how we eat rice, but also educational. You worked with the
Yes.
Philippine rice. This is a collaboration with.
That's right. It was a
Philippine-
collaboration with the Phil Rice.
Phil Rice. That's right.
Agriculture of
Yeah.
no Department of Agriculture
Yeah.
of the Philippines. Yeah, it
And
was.
you filmed in Nueva Ecija.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
the rice capital of the Philippines.
Yes.
And yeah, it was great. I totally believed in the advocacy, and they needed that message out, so I agreed to work with them. And really happy I did.
Very clear
Yeah.
statistics you show to him how much rice we waste, and it gives you a deeper appreciation of our food from the farming up to the consumption.
That's right. Yeah, I try to make my videos educational as well, not just kind of a laugh, but so that they can take something and remember
Yeah.
it, and make the video timeless too.
Yeah. You also have special appearances by Sanggol the pig.
Yeah.
You're an animal lover. This
That's
is something
right,
that you
yeah.
wanted to be a vet.
Yes.
And so this Sanggol the pig actually, and you have a chicken also, is that right?
Yes, I live in a condo, but it's a farm. I have a pet pig. Had to get a special permit for her. She's a potbelly pig for keeping in the house.
Yeah.
And I just recently acquired a pet rooster.
Rather
And,
than a dog, you don't have to.
Right, right. I mean, life is just so fun. It's always interesting, and I like unique things.
Yeah. Well, you're also into ant farms. You have a website called Ants Canada.
Yes, we
You are the-
manufacture formicariums, which are ant farms, and I kind of run like the global Craigslist for ants.
Excellent. You provide a lot of formicaria to schools and museums, even here, the Mine Museum in the Philippines.
That's right. I collaborated with the Mine Museum. I created them a nice setup, and it was a great experience working with them.
Yeah.
And I heard the ants that I gave them escaped, and then they moved back in.
Imagine that.
Yeah, so I'm like, this is great. I create setups for ants that will escape and come back because the setup was so great for them.
With
so
nature, you just never know. That's another common thing you share. You both love Discovery Channel, nature shows,
Yeah.
huh? And this does show in your videos. You're out in nature and, adventure. You both have this love for adventure.
Of course, yeah.
The outdoors.
The great outdoors. That's
Right.
where you find most inspiration.
What are some dream projects that you're still looking at? Maybe a topic that or a place you still want to go to for your videos, Marco?
I never want to go to Australia.
Yeah.
For one thing.
Where the place that your people are from.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Want to go to the great outback.
What
So,
about Soviet? What about for Boris? Would you like to go to Russia?
I'd go to Russia.
Yeah.
I want to go to Russia as well. All these characters, and they'll go backpacking through Europe.
Yeah.
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Of course.
That'd be excellent. The Pinoy take, travel, how Pinoys travel. That would
Exactly.
be something to look forward to. Mikey?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe more musical projects
Yeah.
here in the Philippines. It's only now that people are starting to come around and realize that I'm a musician.
Yeah.
Especially with this new Sucapella segment, right, that we have on Magic.
Which you always win, by the way. Right?
Most of the time.
90%.
Yeah, but I look forward to possibly releasing an album here. I have around 7 or 8 album releases already,
Yeah.
all on iTunes, but I have yet to release one officially here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So perhaps that might be my next
Perhaps a
dream
collaboration
project.
musically. He could be your drummer.
Oh, yeah.
Why
Yeah,
not?
Oh
we
yeah,
talked about that.
Bogart and I
Collaboration.
are collabing. This is
Yeah.
for sure.
All
guys.
right.
It's
You
on
heard it
record.
here first
Yes.
on News Cafe.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Really? So other collaborations come. You worked with Ramon Bautista. No,
I
Marco?
have. I worked with even boy. What do you call this?
Abunda?
No.
Not yet. Not yet.
The one who with the lines for ladies. Boy pick up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Pick up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've worked with a lot of people as well, and I love collaborations because you get to explore each other's humor, and then he has something to add, I have something to add, and comes up with something magical in the end.
You just can't imagine. that
Yeah,
something like that
in
happened.
most of projects, you try to plan it out as much as you can, but they never end up like what you
Right.
planned. It ends up being a lot more epic.
That's the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what is this chismis we're hearing about Bagsik, superhero character that you have under your poncho?
Yeah, we're planning to do like a short film, a feature-length film, a superhero, but a local version, kind of really local.
What is his
modern.
power?
We're
don't-
still trying to work that out. So far, we're down to costume, so that's what we have down. So,
Yeah.
but the rest
So
we're
film,
still,
huh?
Yeah.
Only a film.
Yeah. So we're doing actually. doing a movie at the end of the year. It's gonna be awesome, but I can't say anything yet. But yeah, it's a major motion picture, so
Yeah.
cross my fingers.
Well, summer plans, of course, you have a lot of summer activities. We'll be catching you. You'll be doing a lot of promotion, maybe in the beaches.
Yeah, I've got a tour coming up. I'll be heading first to Guam, and then heading to Canada in a bit. Just kind of having my hands in a bunch of things at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of having fun, no
Yeah.
matter where in the world I am.
That's good. Well, since you were both born, shall we say, or celebrity status, we're born off the internet. How would you say now you're making use of social media, Mikey?
Well, yeah, I mean, being an internet celebrity, we're always, I guess, we're always studying our industry, right?
Yeah,
And always keeping up on the latest social networking sites, right? I recently just joined Google Plus. You know, I've kind of held off on that for a bit, but
gave in.
I kind of gave in. I
Yeah.
kind of had to, you know, I have to be on top of my social networking
Yeah,
game. So
that helps.
being on the internet has really forced me to become internet savvy.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to interact with our different kinds of fans.
Right.
You know, the audience on Instagram is different from, say, my audience on YouTube. You know,
Twitter also, yeah.
Yeah.
right, they're always looking for different kinds of things.
Yeah.
So I guess it's been again a learning curve
Yeah.
to be able to have to manage all of those sites.
What tips would you give on how to use social media properly, Marco? I mean, how it's been successful for you? What are the tips that you could give people out there?
People really need to read and use, search engines.
Yeah.
Because, like, most Filipinos don't really get satire. And then when they post stuff and then they just get really pumped up and angry about things that, this is a satire website. Did you read what it's about? So, yeah, people need to research before sharing stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, for example...
Don't believe everything you see, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
or
mean,
read.
I want to post. I want to help people out. Like, for example, when they post, like, this guy, he stole our car. Please share this so that he'll be shamed and stuff. But what if that guy just owes the guy money, and
to
then
check,
he just wants to
verify.
shame him, or
Yeah.
like he dated a girlfriend or whatever. So you
Yeah.
have to really do your research before sharing stuff online. You don't want to.
Good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's online. It's easy. You don't even have to ask questions online anymore. I don't get that when people ask on the comments like, "Oh, what is this? What is this? What is this?" There's Google, dude. Just type in
Right.
this keyword. And
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, Mikey, some of your tips.
Well, yeah, tips for those of you who, I guess, hope to possibly start something great, maybe
Yeah.
a career online.
Yeah.
I just say keep pumping out quality material.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll be discovered.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of the thing that I've discovered. And the great thing about the internet is once it's out there, it's out there. So let's say you get this new audience, you go viral, and you have tons of people who love your stuff. They're going to go back to your old stuff and check it
Right.
out. So it's important to always pump out quality material because of the nature of the internet. You know,
That's
being
true.
what's it called? They can go back and check your old
Your
stuff. It's
history,
retroactive.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
the
that's
benefits are retroactive.
Right. Now, one of the things to worry about on the internet too is this whole thing about cybercrime, right? So now in the Philippines, we're looking at this anti-cybercrime law. Do you think this is protection or threat, Marco?
It's both, I guess. I mean, there are points in the cyber crime bill that will definitely help people out, protect them.
Yeah.
But then again, there are also parts that can be twisted
Yeah.
and used for evil purposes. So
Yeah.
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But most of the, I don't know what to make of it yet. It's
Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
So we've yet to see.
Right, Mikey?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same
Yeah.
stance
Right. So you
as
need to
him.
study it. So let me challenge you then. What if you both had to do a video
right.
on this? Maybe not particularly this topic. We can choose another one, but something on Pinoy culture and choose a topic, maybe crime. Well, let's see, in Davao, no, we have Duterte coming down on the people. Maybe he
Yeah.
could come as a cameo. Toronto, you have what? Your mayor.
Yeah,
Rob
my
Ford.
mayor. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Mr. Ford. So let's pose this challenge. Each of you, what would you show in this particular video? Choose a topic, Marco. You want
Which
to do
one?
crime?
Like with crime?
Let's say Pinoys and crime, or I don't know, epaloid. You did something on the epaloid.
I did something on Epaloid, but maybe more
Epal.
like a ghost type figure thing.
Yeah, that was
where-
funny.
Photo bombers.
Yeah.
So,
not so
yeah.
much the political epal.
Yeah.
But if we were to do something related to politics, maybe with all of this PDAF thing going on.
I was
You know?
supposed to do something about politics, but we figured it'd be too dangerous. I want to live.
Yeah.
Could you throw us one line, either as Boris or as Bogart, maybe related to that?
I give it like a name, the Philippine crocodile. No,
That's what you
actually,
call
we
it.
went to on one of the videos that we did. We went to Crocodile Park, right? And then so there's like crocodiles like eating pork, and then like, hi, look at the crocodiles. Even though it doesn't come in a barrel, you know what kind of creature loves their pork. So you know, it's like just just a
Good
bit
metaphor.
of
Yeah.
metaphorical. So.
Yeah. Mikey, what would you choose? Let's see, if we had to put you on the spot right now and do some kind of tutorial on Pinoys and corruption.
Well, I wouldn't touch the government stuff.
Okay,
I also
okay.
don't want.
We'll choose something else then.
Yeah,
Something
well,
safer.
Okay, something safer. Yeah, something I would
Animals?
do would be maybe like peeing in the street.
Okay, that's a crime too,
Yeah,
sort of.
that's a crime.
Yeah.
In Canada, I can, if it's dark enough, I'll just go maybe in the nearest public bathroom. I would never pee on the street. Here, I'm like, is that a naked guy? Oh my God, he's peeing! Hoy, bawal jumihi dito.
What would Frank say?
Frank would be like, oh my God, is he peeing? Wow.
It's Frank.
Yeah, that's what he would be like. So.
This is great too. When you add characters like Frank, we kind of show also the ignorant kind of stereotypes of foreigners, so we can play around with that.
And that's what it's all about, stereotypes.
Yeah,
Definitely. That's
exactly.
what we play around.
So what are you looking at with your work? What do you hope to do, let's say with Philippine media, be it social media or the comedy scene? Marco?
I really want to promote tourism mostly now. I mean, the country, I just came from Sagada, and it is
beautiful.
beautiful there. I mean, being on top of the clouds and everything. This country is beautiful. The only thing, we have everything that the world has to offer except snow. That's about it.
It snowed in Baguio and hailed a bit.
It
sometimes.
did?
Yeah, it snowed a few times before.
Hey, there
Not
you go.
blizzard, though.
What, like skiing snow?
Okay, not
Yeah,
that.
right.
Snowboarding snow. So
We have
yeah,
fake snow.
But everything else we have it.
That's
So
true,
the
and
country's
more.
And
Yeah,
more, and
yeah.
more. So it's awesome.
Mikey?
Yeah, I'm the same too. Love promoting the country, love obviously promoting the culture. I myself, I kind of, my main goal is to just help entertain people,
Yeah.
inspire people, maybe educate them a little bit, squash their stress. I love getting the messages like, I'm on a cruise ship for 6 months and I miss my family and I watch your videos because it reminds me of home. And it's messages like that. Or I get often messages of people who are terminally ill and they're saying, your
Yeah.
videos are helping me get by, they're inspiring me.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like my fuel.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. You're really doing a lot for the Philippines, inspiring us and making us laugh. So keep up the good work. More power.
Thanks.
It's been
Thank
so much
you.
fun, guys. Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
having us.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. I'd like to thank my guests, Marco Ho, aka Bogart the Explorer, and Mikey Bustos for being here tonight. Please do share your thoughts or comments on the show on our Facebook and Twitter pages. We'd love to hear from you. Now, if you missed any of our previous episodes, you can watch them on your mobile device anytime. Just download the Solar News mobile app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and enjoy. Join us again next Thursday for another round of delicious conversations right here on News Cafe. I'm Mitzi Borromeo. Good night. Thanks.
Sa karanasan mo po, hindi na ba nakasalanan ng video?